Now to my open. It's real simple. You don't like America? You want to cheer as the World Trade Center comes down? You want to meet with a known suicide bomber? Okay, then you've given up your rights at the altar of American freedom. If there's a terror investigation on any level, you lose your right to fly, your right to buy a gun, and your right to privacy. Any rights you had take a back seat to our national security. If you're on a no-fly list, a terror watch list, if you're under terror investigation, you have no Second Amendment rights. You cannot buy a gun, you cannot fly on a plane, period. We can't allow you to do this to us again, and we will not allow you to use our Constitution as a shield while you put our loved ones, our neighbors, and our nation in danger or worse. All right, folks, our government is simply not doing enough with the information that it has. Federal agencies don't always share information with local law enforcement unless there's a joint terrorist task force. And even then, agency competition and all that goes with it hurts the investigations. Laws must be changed. We saw it when the FBI investigated the Boston bombers and were too blind to connect the dots where Homeland Security simply allowed Tamerlan Tsarnaev to fly back and forth to Chechnya. That same FBI interviewed Mateen, the Orlando shooter, 3 times. Mateen told them that his anti-American comments were simply a response to what he perceived as anti-Muslim comments. He was turning the tables on us folks while basically tapping into our politically correct Islamophobic guilt. Part of the reason for closing his case was that Mateen was a security guard, so he must be okay. Seriously? I've always been a fan of Jim Comey's. You know that. But I couldn't believe it when I heard this one.
I don't see anything in reviewing our work that our agents should have done differently.
I want to hear there's nothing the FBI could have done differently, especially when you keep telling us there are more terror attacks coming. You just sit back and say, we couldn't stop it? Jim, come up with some ideas, like matching a no-fly list, a terror watch list, with the purchase of a gun. How tough is that? We don't want to hear this nonsense that to do so might alert a terrorist and harm an investigation. Hell, the FBI visited Mateen 3 times. You don't think he knew he was being watched? And pray tell, why does the FBI even remove people from a terror watch list? If there's no probable cause to make a criminal case, then don't arrest the guy. But don't use our freedoms as a rationalization to free people up who want to kill us and take them off the list. So you don't have probable cause to charge them with a crime. So that doesn't mean you can't keep them on a watch list based on reasonable suspicion, a lesser standard of proof. Hell, the NSA's got all our metadata and they know everything about the rest of us. Why can't you have a list? And from what I hear, most people who should be off the list can't get off it. And you want to take this guy off yourself? You're not locking him up. You're not convicting them of a crime. You're not jailing them. You're simply stopping them from buying a gun. And what's with this nonsense that words like Sharia and jihad are scrubbed from the FBI's lexicon and intelligence reports? You guys are so hogtied and so wimped out, you don't have the ability to even think logically anymore. Jim, you're the head of the FBI. It is not impossible. Jim, you are J. Edgar Hoover. You know how to make them pass a law. And if a judge wants to let them fly somewhere, then, you know what? Make them pay for a U.S. Marshal to accompany them. Search them, and then search them again. Do a colonic if you have to. And for the rest of us, I've told you this before, I told you this after San Bernardino. Take a look. Get a gun. Buy one legally, learn how to shoot it, and be primed to use it. And I don't care if you get a long gun, a handgun, a revolver, a semi-automatic, get whatever gun you can handle. And don't let anyone talk you out of it. The Second Amendment to the Constitution and the United States Supreme Court confirm your right to have one. I'm telling you this again. Get a gun. Because this government ain't in a position to help.